Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we'll be going over the last two episodes of What If. As always, like we said before in our previous videos, we'll not be going over them beat by beat, but we'll just discuss some things we liked and our overall feelings and whether we thought this was a good wrap up for the first season of What If. So we'll start with the penultimate episode title, What If Ultron had won? Or What If Ultron won? So George, what did you think of this What If episode, the second last episode of What If?
Well, it was great, honestly. I think it was kind of just funny how Vision went zzz and killed
Oh
Thanos.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
so quickly. Like, why couldn't you have done that in
exactly.
10 minutes?
Yeah, that's the thing I was wondering too. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, like now it's Vision, Ultron, and like Dark Doctor Strange that are now like one of the most like powerful beings enough to see the Watcher, or at least be aware of his presence. Like that's like like they're that omnipotent, and that's the thing I liked about this episode. It really redeemed Ultron. Like sure, the voice acting wasn't exactly James Spader and all that, but I didn't mind the voice actor, the stand-in they had, because I'm pretty sure the stand-in voice actor they had was Ross Marquardt. He did Red Skull because they didn't have Hugo Weaving, because Hugo Weaving, like I don't think he wanted to come back for the MCU movies. And I mean, he does a Red Skull voice like top notch. He even did the voice for Red Skull in episode one for What If as well. So him here
Yeah.
doing a James Spader impression. I mean, it's okay. It doesn't sound like James Spader, where it has like that sort of menace, but I think it was still alright. I mean, Ultron won, the world would have gone to crap, because it's like they show you how if Ultron were to have seized the body of Vision, the Ultron would have completed his goal in mere seconds, because of the fact Vision is just that powerful. And with the mind of Ultron, it's like a plus 10 or plus 100 of intelligence, because he's an AI, but as well as the fact that he was built from Tony Stark. So of course he's going to inherit that sort of genius from his creator as well. And I mean, man, it's one hell of a sight, because you see like Captain America's broken shield, you see like Thor, Hulk, they're both like sleeping, and Iron Man's like, "Don't do this, Vision. Ultron, I created you for peace." And then
Yeah.
Vision's like, "Screw you," and then just like he does like a own like self bomb, and Tony Stark bites the dust again. God damn it. I was like, we bit the dust again. What I liked about this is that Black Widow and Hawkeye survived this incident, of course, because like the only people left on the planet, because
Yeah.
Ultron decimated every single thing. And now the whole world is just full of Ultron bots just like swarming the entire world. And they're the only two that are, like have been fighting for however many years to even save what's left of their reality. I like that it just wasn't like, oh, it just so miraculously happened that the people that have no powers just so happened to miraculously survive. No, it was like it was the fact that Black Widow and Hawkeye were sent on a mission to fly on the Quinjet above the air to get to the nuclear codes, but they weren't there in time, so the nuclear codes went off,
Yeah.
and everybody's just dead. While Hawkeye and Nat, they're still on the plane, so it's like they avoided. That was like a one in a million sort of like chance that they just so happened to avoid like the platoon of nuclear warheads just going off around the world. And you even get like a little sad, very like depressed sort of Hawkeye, where he's like in that moment he's like, "Oh my god, my wife," because he says Laura, and I was like, "Oh my
Yeah.
god," I was like, "Holy crap!" Like that just hits, because I think they even showed a shot of like a farmhouse, and then there's like the missiles going at the back. I'm not sure if that was the exact like if it was his home or not, but I was like, "Oh god, that sucks so much." Like in early in the episode, you get like the whole flash forward. They don't do like the flashback real quick, but you get a flash forward of like Clint and Nat. They're like, they're taking on some Ultron bots. One really like the action, that one take with that was a nice one take, especially. And Clint has a robotic arm, and I felt like it was a reference to Green Arrow from like DC, because there are certain storylines, or at least a sort of comics, where Green Arrow, he loses his arm. He can still shoot well just with the one arm, but there's always that one character, or he somehow find a prosthetic arm somehow. Like that's always like
Yeah.
that's the thing. I was like, I kind of got Green Arrow vibes from Clint, because he had like a mechanical Ultron arm, and I liked that beginning when he just like rapid fires like 4 or 5 missiles like. I was like, shoot, that was badass. He even had like a stealth cloak, which was sick as well.
Yeah. It was sick.
Through Watcher's narration as well, that yeah, this is a world where these two are trying to find what can you combat with an artificial intelligence. Maybe not an exact artificial intelligence, but a virus that is intelligent, which we learned to be the Zola algorithm. And I was like, I like that, and it's pretty cool because they find the document first in Russia. We get Watcher because the thing was though, Watcher was narrating Ultron's story. I love the fact that Watcher thought he was the viewer, and it's almost like you jump on an Instagram live video, but you're the only one there because it was Watcher's like because we get a montage of Ultron, the moment he shoots his laser in Thanos and it splits him in half and everything, he collects those stones and he's just like, okay, cool. Oh man, the scene that got me the most was when he used the reality stone and his hand just waved across and he just spawns so many Ultron bots and it's just like, yeah, time to go, like wreak havoc. He goes to every single place. He decimates everything from Asgard and even the Sovereign planet, and it's pretty. And I like that it was. Sure, it's a bit of a plot hole, but not. I wouldn't say. I'm not sure if it is a plot hole or not, but it's just like I like how it just so happened to be coincidental that the Guardians were doing like Guardians 2 was also around that same time period because. When the Ultron bots are swarming in, we see like Star-Lord and Gamora and Drax, they're all fighting, but then they get blown up. And then Ultron invades Xander. Captain Marvel shows up. I mean, I will say this. I don't hate the character. I was like, okay, yeah, let's go. Like, I want to see Captain Marvel like wreak havoc. But then I remembered. And then this was the thing we were talking about how we don't know what's her weakness. Her weakness has to be the stones because we learned that because in Endgame she got knocked the hell out of the frame by Thanos with that power stone, and Ultron with all the stones. Oh, he did like the biggest kamikaze ever because he blows up the planet he's on. The explosion he sets off just sets up a chain reaction of other planets just being destroyed. And I was like, that is just so damn OP. I was like, Jesus, Ultron. Like, if we thought Thanos wiping on half the population was bad, nah, man. Thanos was just being humble, to say the least, because Ultron just said, nah, bro. I will kill everything and anything. Before we hop back onto the whole, like, Clint Barton and Natasha Romanoff journey, man, the Watcher thought he was smart, too. He's like, look at him, lost, searching for purpose. And the way they even frame it is like, yo, I swear I'm hearing something, right? and then when Watcher's talking too much, and it's like, he became aware of another. And Watcher was like, oh shit, that's me. Watch was, and I like the fact that Vision Ultron was like, I see you. It's like, and I like the way Watcher was like, close that damn door. Like, I don't want to see that.
He's like, oh no.
Watcher literally was like, no being has ever surpassed that level of power to even be able to acknowledge me on this sort of level. And we get Natasha and Clint, and they're like in Siberia, like from Civil War and all that. Because earlier in the episode, or when they're in Russia, they're like going through all these files. Natasha just so happens to pick up Red Guardian shield. I felt like they made Clint such a character, even in this episode for however long he was in. I felt like a character I felt so connected to because of the fact he was just like, nah, don't even try to like be funny now, dude. Like life's like meaningless. We keep on fighting, but for what? Because this planet we're on is literally just nothing now. Besides you and me, we're both the only living people on here, so we can't do anything at all. But then like the scene. He just stops and you just get the Watcher going, get the damn folder already, man, dude, it's right there, he's right there. And then they do find the folder and it's like, oh crap, we have to go find Arnim Zola. They find Arnim Zola, they interrogate him, they're like, hey, yeah, Shield, Hydra, everything, yeah, that's all done. Ultron wiped it out, so you better help us take down Ultron and shut down his whole hive mind. They upload Arnim Zola into like the virus arrow or whatever that was, and then like the Ultron bots come in and they invade the Siberian base because Black Widow lures them in. I will say this, my own, like, a slight nitpick. Black Widow used that shield with ease because the thing is, in the comics, right? I mean, when this was like the whole like Captain America mantle had to be changed and people were having to. The thing was, the only way you were able to be fit to be Captain America was if you knew how to handle that shield. And Hawkeye was one of those people that could really handle the shield well, just because Hawkeye was that good with whatever he was given, and plus his accuracy is just like that good, right? But to me, it was just, I felt like it made more sense if Clint had the shield, just because, like, to me, Black Widow would be more good at using the shield when in terms of a defensive approach rather than offensive one. Because just to me, I just didn't like the fact that she was just able to use it with ease. So like they're both trying to escape, like Clint and that. Because Arnim Zola, he does this whole like EMP sort of thing where he tries to disable the Ultron hive mind, but they can't because Ultron is in outer space and he's out of reach compared to all the other Ultron bots. They're all trying to escape, and then things are looking slim in Hawkeye. He sacrifices himself. Endgame, almost like a mirror Endgame sort of situation, which I was like, Damn, man. It almost makes you kind of go like, you know what? Hawkeye could have died in Endgame. Because I know there's like a camp of people where they're like, should Clint have died or should Nat have died? Like that sort of debate. But at least when that happened, I was like, damn. To me personally, I felt like he didn't have to die. Maybe that's just me, but I felt like Clint still could have gone out alive. But I guess, because there was like a swarm of Ultron bots, it was practically impossible to get out. But I mean, they did a beautiful shot too when he was about to die. When he fired that one, like this light beaming down on him, and then it's like this swarm of Ultron bots coming up in the air, and he's like firing that like big explosive arrow. I was like, that as well, like animated and drawn and everything. But man, Watcher gets seen. Like, I like the fact that Watcher's like, okay, this story's good, and then Ultron Vision's like crashes into his like domain, and he's like, yeah, what did you say? I'm here now. Dude, that Ultron Vision versus Watcher fight scene was off the chain, dude. That was honestly awesome. I love that scene so much, man. I like the visual effects they use, especially for like when Vision Ultron and he uses his power when he uses the Infinity Stones, and when when Watcher's going all armored up and he's like going like all Ultra Instinct. So like the one moment where I was like the Watcher was like so cool. And I like the fact like there's like a little moment where you notice when they're throwing hands, and I like the fact that Watcher uses his own head as well. Like he headbutts because like Ultron Vision headbutts him, but since Watcher has a more of a bigger head, he just headbutts him back. I was like, that was kind of cool too. I like that. What did you think of that fight, dude? That was like insanely dynamic.
Good. I liked it. It was great. I liked how it shot and everything. Like that one sit shot where the Watcher falls over, didn't fall over, you know what I mean? And then Vision like parts the forest. That was great. Oh wow, I really liked it. Yeah.
And people have been pointing out when Vision Ultron he eats that galaxy, it's almost very heavy sort of Galactus sort of imagery right there, because Galactus is all about consuming planets. So I mean, that's right. Here it shows you that eating planets isn't stupid, and it's kind of cool. I must say they made it believable that someone of that magnitude could eat an entire, not just a planet, but a galaxy for the matter of fact. I was like, whoa! I was like, whoa, wow! That was dope. And then what is it? We get like this frame. I don't know where they get teleported to, but we get this broadcast on TV where Steve Rogers is being president. Wait, whoa! I was like, what alternate timeline are we in right now? Because that looks insane. They throw more fists, and then Ultron Vision is nearly gonna have like his last sort of. They're gonna get the Watcher, but then Watcher just kind of like rage quits in the moment. He just kind of force quits, and then we get Vision Ultron where he's like, yeah, the multiverse is now mine. I can go wreak havoc. And because we see this sort of mirror dimension almost where Watcher was before, but then you see the red lines of code flowing through the mirrors as well. Like Ultron has consumed it all. And I was like, damn. We get the end credits, which was cool. Watcher's just sitting down and he's like, hey man, can you please help me? I didn't mean to do anything wrong. And then Dr. Strange is like, I was waiting for you to say that because you treated me like goddamn shit. I was wanting to help. Where were you when I needed the help? But then Dr. Strange is like, thank you for saying you needed my help, because this was like the whole lead up to the next episode, which is titled, What If the Watcher Broke His Oath? Okay, I do have some, I don't want to say negatives, but I have some complaints and nitpicks for this episode, but we'll get to that. This picks up right off, well, no, not really right off the back of that episode, but it's set up because we know if you guys know, or maybe not, there has been some heavy marketing about this whole multiversal crossover with all these characters from across the episodes, and here we get the setup for that. We get everyone recruited: Captain Carter, Killmonger. We get T'Challa, Star-Lord. What I liked about that was there was some follow-up to their characters and where their stories left off, and I like that so much. Okay, now this is one of my many complaints, and just a personal thing of mine. The Gamora character. This leads into some news. Maybe you've heard about this recently, or I don't know, but just to educate the fellow viewers out there, there was an episode of What If that was pushed into season 2, and what I've heard is going to be the first episode kicking off season 2 of What If. They didn't put this episode into here because of COVID and all that, which for me it's up for debate, because to me I have my opinions on this episode, because that episode, the one they shelved with the Gamora episode, sounded interesting as hell to me, and I like the fact that, am I the only one that fanboyed like a girl when I saw Tony Stark in the coolest Hulkbuster armor ever?
Oh, it was so good.
I like the arc reactor. It's almost like a very slim, sort of futuristic triangle. I like that. That very like small triangle. And then he also has like these boosters, like these massive boosters at the back, and it's very bulky too. And I like that. But then I like the fact that I don't know what it is because it seems to take place. The Gamora episode seems to take place right after Infinity War, but I don't know the timeline. We'll get that. We'll talk about that later. I like the fact that Tony Stark's like, "Hey, you big dude, I'm gonna mess you up," and then I watch is like, dude, I ain't talking to you, Tony Stark. Gamora, come with me, damn it. And then they all meet up, and and the Watcher recruits Party Thor. Is it wrong for me to forget? Is he really a team player? I mean,
Yeah, I don't think he needed to be honest. Did he really need to? He could have just left him.
so we get them all in this bar. You know, Doctor Strange is there, like, hey everyone. So yeah, this is what we're gonna go up against. They give that little debrief of like, hey, this is what we have to do. This is how you go about it. This is gonna be my opinion. This is why we needed the Gamora episode personally, because they pulled that Infinity Crusher right out their backside with no explanation whatsoever. Because it's like, how do we stop him? Slams on the table. Infinity Crusher. Because I thought that was what they were creating on Nidavellir. Because they show, you know, Gamora's there on Nidavellir melting the gauntlet. So I was like, is she using that to make a device? But no, she just kind of whips it out like casually, like, hey,
Yeah.
I just so happen to have a weapon that can go up against Infinity Stones. And I'm like, it just spontaneous. Like, it was just spontaneous. It was like a go with the flow. You either go with the flow or it just loses you, that kind of thing, right? And you get all these guys like they're like chatting like, hey, what sort of plan should we do? Like, how do we go about it? And if there's one thing Thor's best ability is, causing unwanted attention. That brother, he does not give the group a break. I can tell you that much. I mean, the Watcher did see all of this beforehand, and he knows what was gonna happen. So they're all on this planet. They're all like chilling, and it's like, hey, you know, you have like those typical team dynamic where, you know, there's these two people that kind of have a common sort of connection. Because, you know, Peggy Carter's like, hey, what's happening to you? Why are you like this? It's like, and then Doctor Strange is like, hey, it was all love. And then she's like, what's happened to the Captain Cosmo in your universe? And then Dr. Stephen Strange is like, Steve Rogers in my universe becomes Captain America. You get a few banter between, not banter, but like these moments with Gamora and Thor. They're looking at Killmonger because Killmonger, I like that even the moment they were teamed up, I could just see Killmonger giving the look on T'Challa. Like, he was really looking at T'Challa like hard, like, I think I should just kill this dude right here. Oh, that's what I was thinking. Because he always had, like, that secret yet evil intent. Things weren't gonna go smooth sailing from here. You know, Doctor Strange, he gives everyone a drink, he gives his speech, but it was like, but then T'Challa's like, hey, let me cover for you, Doctor Strange. To the Guardians of the Multiverse, because that's their new title now. And I was like, all right, damn. Like, even when the Watchers said it, I felt like, I kind of had goosebumps at that moment, because I was like, damn, that's like such a cool name in a way. But then, you know, Thor doing his usual party boy tricks, he brings the literal threat to them. He shoots the lightning, and then Ultron Vision is just like, oh, I see, there's actual life on here. Oh, okay, I'm gonna kill y'all. But then Doctor Strange, let's just say this up front, Doctor Strange was just the MVP of this episode. No argument there. Everybody did their thing, you know. Killmonger slashed his claws, Black Panther shot his shots, and Gamora sliced her sword and whatnot, you know. Doctor Strange went in, dude. Oh, man. Man, Doctor Strange was just off the chain in this one. I love the fact that something like What If just gives the action just this more over the top and just cool, awesome, entertaining fight scenes. And this Doctor Strange one has to be the one. Like, hands down. The way he utilizes his abilities and everything was so awesome. Man, when he did that whole duplication spell of all the Mjolnirs, I was like, what the hell? Like, that's possible? I was like losing my mind. He summoned the zombies universe. It was like, and that is okay. That is another nitpick of mine. We clearly saw that the zombies, like the zombie heroes, were all dead. Like, Captain America got decapitated in half. Doctor Strange was killed by ants. Falcon was chopped in half. But they're like the first three people they showed coming through the zombies universe, and I was like, aren't you guys dead? But then the reason why Doctor Strange did that was because he summoned in Zombie Wanda to stop Vision, Ultron Vision. But then for some reason, Zombie Wanda stops midway because maybe she realizes Vision under that suit, perhaps. Like, oh my god, it's Vision. But then, you know, Ultron Vision just decimates everything. The heroes have a chance to escape. They go to the Age of Ultron, the What If Ultron 1 universe, because they meet up with the whole, like, post-apocalyptic Black Widow. And, you know, they're trying to get her on the side because Captain Carter from her universe knows Black Widow pretty well too. So they easily get her on the team. Ultron Vision's already making his way. Oh, they're doing like that whole Soul Stone fight. And another thing I liked was the whole protection spell because they matched the character. I like the way when Thor had his protection spell, you could see like the little horns, the horns that were forming around his head. Captain Carter, since she's all England, like that type of thing, she has a knight armor, and I was like, oh, that's a nice touch. Pretty much a fight for the Soul Stone. And dude, what did you think of that fight, man? That like sort of one take when they're throwing the shield back, and then after that, it's just like everybody going in like one at a time.
Oh god, it was awesome to just see them keep going and going. It was just everything was so sick.
Oh, dude, especially that Soul Stone one. When it's just on the Soul Stone, they focus like the camera just focuses down on the Soul Stone, and you just get everybody either falling down, kneeling down, Ultron nearly getting it, but then not getting it, and it's like almost literally like this tug of war situation. And you think like Ultron is nearly gonna have that hand because he uses that time stone, freezes everyone, obtains the Soul Stone just as he's about to get it. Strange just strangles him, and Strange is out of it because Strange also has the time stone with him as well. I feel like they got a few good licks in. They were able to trap Ultron. They use the Infinity Crusher, but it doesn't work because Gamora points out that her Infinity Crusher was only supposed to stop the Infinity Stones on her universe, and this is a plot hole. And I'm not sure about you, George, and maybe some of the viewers might know that in the comic books, especially Marvel Comics, the Infinity Stones work in their or respective universe. I know people are saying, what about Endgame? Well, in Endgame, we're in their same universe. They just traveled to a different point in time where they could still have access to the stones, meaning there weren't stones from another planet. It was just in the same universe, but in a different time. So that is okay. But what I found weird was Gamora's Infinity Crusher doesn't work because it's supposed to be used on her universe's Infinity Stones. But Ultron Vision is able to use his stones around the multiverse, even though his Infinity Stones would come from his respective universe. So that was a bit of a plot hole, which I was like, what? Because I was like, okay, if you're gonna let this happen, why? I mean, I know it's because of the whole, they just need to add some stakes and all that, but I just kind of felt like, okay, you're allowing this to happen, but you're not allowing that to happen. So it was just a bit, it threw me off a little bit.
Yeah.
But then Black Widow remembers, like, oh my god, I have the virus arrow. And then he's like, yo, Peggy Carter, if you can give me a perfect window, I can take a good shot. So, you got this, like, real long one take where everybody's just trying to give it their all. Doctor Strange is protecting everybody else. And Peggy Carter opens that HUD, opens the helmet. Black Widow shoots the virus arrow into Vision. And you get Arnim Zola, and he's like, man, time to infiltrate you. He hacks into the Vision, he's weak, and he's pretty much down for the count at the moment, because everybody thinks, hey, it's smooth sailing, but Killmonger always with that cunning fox kind of attitude and / cunning fox kind of play. Remember that Ultron bot he was experimenting with throughout the episode. He finally is able to utilize that, and the nanotechnology from Ultron Vision starts to come through him. It starts to become one with his suit, and he gets the Infinity Stones. And then Killmonger's like, hey guys, the Watchers gotta owe us something. We can all have our wishes fulfilled. But then everybody's like, nah, dude, this was just more like chaos. He's just like, I ain't gonna give you guys the stones. But then I like the fact that I like the fact that Eric Killmonger thought he was something like, yeah, I got my whole set here. And then and I like this. Arnim Zola takes over the Vision's body, and it's very reminiscent of his comic book look where he has like a robot.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
He has like a robot sort of suit, and his face displays. And I like that it was on the Vision robot as well. And you get Eric Killmonger and Vision having a tug of war, and how it's just pretty much rippling across the universe, and it could be cataclysmic. And then Doctor Strange, being the smartest and powerful one he is, he's like, hold up. We're not supposed to win. We're supposed to separate the stones. And he does the same thing he did in his episode where he creates a mirror dimension or like a pocket universe around Killmonger and Arnim Zola Vision. You get this big blast, and then everybody... It's okay. Like, everybody's made it out okay. We don't know where Strange is. Strange is like in his pocket universe, and he has to guard the pocket universe. He's in a pocket universe, and he has to guard another pocket universe. If that can get meta, I don't know what is. But the Watcher's like, hey, Strange, I foresaw every outcome, and your sacrifice is what led to the victory. Watch over this before it erupts into further chaos. And then Doctor Strange having to reluctantly accept it. He's like, what are friends for, right? I'll look after it. And then we get everybody tucked back into the universes, or everybody's like, hey, I know you guys will not, your victory of this event will not be known, but truly grateful for your service that you've given and that you guys have helped out in saving not just the universe but many, and especially people in the multiverse as well. Everybody goes out to the door, but then we get Peggy Carter going. Do I not have my happy ending? And I was like, man. I mean, I respect. I no, it didn't hit me, but I was just kind of like, I could see why she would be like that. Like she would be so hasty, like to want Steve back because she never really got the chance to ever meet him again. Then we get the post-apocalyptic Widow when she's like, I don't want to go back to that planet because it's just no one there. It's just lifeless. And the Watcher's like, I know I can't do anything. I would try to act out of my best interest of the multiverse because if I do, I could just be cataclysmic. But Watcher using his power, even though he's like, I won't intervene, he kind of does intervene. And he's like, hey, Black Widow, I'll send you to this universe where they don't have their Widow. And we get the universe from episode 3. And I was like so happy because it was cool. Because we get Captain America, we get Captain Marvel, and Nick Fury, and they're all fighting Asgardians on the helicarrier. And I was like, my only thing is that Nick Fury, are you sure? I was expecting Nick Fury to recruit at least a few more people. If you think a 100-year-old soldier from the ice just so happens to be that good at strong and like an alien alone as your 2 people to defend Earth, I mean, I would say open the job application a bit more, find some more new recruits.
Yeah.
I feel like you could have at least opened that job application a bit further. I'm just saying because it was just those 2. But then, Black Widow comes in, seizes the day, and then because Loki's like, I thought you were supposed to be dead. And then, Black Widow's like, I know. And then Nick Fury is like, hey, I know you're not my Black Widow, but at heart, that's who you still are. I mean, you get like a nice little wrap-up ending for everyone. We get like a nice closing off for all of them, like all having their happy endings and whatnot. Post credits, Steve is possibly alive. The same scene from, Winter Soldier where, they're on the ship fighting Batroc. Black Widow's like, hey, Peggy, I found something. And then Peggy Carter's like, hey, what is it? They find the Hydra Stomper in this sort of container. And what's the thing people pointed out? It's a different design because it's more gray than green. And it's more gray than green. And there's like these white, red sort of axes of color, like at least some sort of like red spots of color everywhere. And people are saying possible theory that could this be a reverse Winter Soldier case that maybe, I don't know, Steve during the war period was captured and abducted by Hydra, Soviet Union, and experimented on. Almost like a reverse Winter Soldier situation. Instead of controlling the mind, they control maybe like Steve's like homeostasis, like Steve, because they say someone's still in there. I don't know what they'll do. I'm not sure if they'll continue that storyline, but it's something like really interesting. Is this gonna be like a Winter Soldier sort of situation? That was What If season 1. Overall, what did you think, George, of this series in its entirety, man? What did you like from this episode? What did you like about the finale? You could say anything you liked about previous episodes, and did they translate well into this finale?
Yeah, it was very good. Just everything about it. I did like how they translated it. I thought it was really good. I don't really have much else to say. It was just really good. I liked how it all came to a climax. I really, really enjoyed it.
I mean, me personally, I think I will say, What If is not top tier, perfect, like 10 out of 10. It's not top tier. I don't want to, because I don't want to sound like I'm overpraising the show or anything because it's like the only thing good.
No, it's not perfect. Yeah.
I know there's some episodes I feel personally that were kind of a miss, or it's just like good concept, but the execution of certain episodes wasn't all that good. I am optimistic for season 2.
Yeah, same.
This realm of animation is a good one. You get to do these stories, and however you do it, you don't have to be restrained to a budget. So this gives them so much leeway to do what they want. So this portion of the video, we'll just be discussing the future, what if possible theories, what we think could happen, what might happen. We'll just go over them. So I have just a few quick bullet points that we'll go through. So season 2 will have 9 episodes. It'll be the Gamora episode, like we stated, like in the end where they showed Gamora with Tony. They said that they've already started working on season 2. Every single episode for season 2 has been written. It will feature new MCU heroes from Shang-Chi, Black Widow, and the Eternals. And there won't be the end of the world arcs like season 1, rather character stories. Now that's something I'm really interested in. And this is something I wanted to ask you. Do you think I just want to ask you this. How do you feel about this approach now, since that they've gone season 1 out of the way, and now moving forward with season 2, it will be more like character-focused sort of situation?
I think it's good. I think we should see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, there are a few stories that I would really like to see. I've seen Shang-Chi, and
How have you seen Shang-Chi now?
I have gotten a chance to see Shang-Chi, so we'll give you our thoughts on that movie soon. We'll get a review going, we promise, but This is not a spoiler. I'm not spoiling anything just for Shang-Chi, but if y'all know what Shang-Chi is about, you know, you got Daddy Mandarin telling Shang-Chi, hey, be the next Mandarin, you know?
Yeah.
And I want a what if episode where what if Shang-Chi fulfilled his father's destiny?
Oh
That would be
yeah.
so sick. Like, how would he? I could just imagine him succumbing to being his father. That would be like almost like how it wasn't meant to happen, sort of thing. I just want to see Shang-Chi with the 10 rings wearing a slick suit and like with this coat, like slick tuxedo, everything. And just another thing I just want to talk about before we like conclude and all that. I really want to see the Tony Stark Sakaar episode because that sounds awesome.
Oh, it does, doesn't it?
I want to know like what sort of events play into motion because are they gonna do like an Age of Ultron situation where he takes Hulk's place and he's the one that's in the Quinjet flying away, or it could do it. And I've heard that the possible story, or from what I've heard, like the sort of story beats are that it's Avengers 1 where Iron Man he manages to succeed. He blows up the Chitauri ship and all that. The wormhole closes on him too early, and he ends up and he goes through another wormhole, and he ends up landing on Sakaar. And I was like, wow, that's honestly a good sort of interesting concept, and I like the way they did that. That sort of from that point from Avengers 1 to him and Sakaar, and I like that. And I wonder, it's pretty much like what if Thor Ragnarok but with Iron Man and Gamora basically, and I really like that because Tony Stark's not really a fighter. And this is also a thing in Iron Man 3. He's very reliant on his like technology because of the fact like the Iron Man suits make life for him easy in a way, right? We learn like through Iron Man 3 it's not just like the man in the suit. It's also like the fact that Tony Stark's also a genius. So I wonder if like there's gonna be a montage of where he kind of like he tries to be a fighter, but he can't. But he also realizes like, hey, I'm a genius and I know how to like build things. Why not just build myself a damn gladiator suit? And like that would be sick. I mean, overall, what if was good. I don't think it's the best of MCU ever. Like, but I do think it's fun. I guess overall the show is fun. Glad that you guys actually support these videos and watching them as well. Just wanted to let you all know, just before we end the video here, that DC fandom is coming up, and if you guys don't know what that is, or you guys seen the previous description of the video of the last video we did, basically DC fandom it's this sort of online event where DC just showcases everything new that's upcoming from TVs, movies, and other sorts of media. We'll be covering that, and that'll be a few weeks worth of content for us to cover. So please be on the lookout for that. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Also click the bell icon if there is one, because that immediately notifies you when a video of ours goes up on your subscription. Thank you guys once again, and take care, and see you in our next upcoming DC videos.